Okay. So like we said, we are here to talk about Facebook. I personally have a love-hate relationship with it because it is a primary communication source for the library. But on my other side, I love seeing my grandkids and my family and everything on it. And that's probably what you all are using Facebook for, to communicate with your kids, see what your friends are doing. It is a great tool to reconnect with people. I recently went to my class reunion and I had two neighbors that lived by me and they were now dating 40 years later. Right? And I was like, how did you guys connect? And she's like, well, you reached out to me on Facebook. So I was like, isn't that so cool? If you think back like when you were in school, self even, we didn't have social media. And it was funny because at my reunion, I realized that some of my friends were living in the same town that I was, but I didn't know, because really the only way to communicate is through telephone, you move around, go to college. So I think Facebook is amazing now because you can stay connected with people, that you've lost touch with over the years.
So you don't have to change. When we had only the telephone, every time we moved, our phone number was changed, so it lose contact.
Yeah, you just have to put your number, it's been changed to this or it forwards. I don't even know if they want that anymore. How many of you have a landline in your home still? Anybody have a landline in your home anymore? Yeah. No, we do have one here at the library from these fax with it, but I don't really know anybody that has.
Yeah, I'll let it go when I figured out the only reason I was using it was to find myself.
To find yourself. So we're gonna go through what I will say are some basics about Facebook. Maybe. Here we go. Oh, that's rude. And I don't want it to be overwhelming, but as I was going through all of this content, I realized everybody accesses Facebook on different devices, right? I would say most people probably use their cell phone, but people do use their desktop. So in your pack today, all these slides are in here, and I'm going to predominantly talk about using your phone, but there are also instructions on how to access different things on a desktop computer, okay? Now the other thing I want to point out is, I am an iPhone user, so I'm going to be talking about the iPhone. Now, if you have an Android, a lot of the things are very similar. So when you get an app, it may look a little bit different. Even whatever kind of phone you have could mean that it looks a little bit different than what I'm going to show. Okay. So after the class or another day, if you have questions specifically about Facebook, things you're trying to do, you can set up time with Amanda, who is our Amanda. Come here, please. Amanda is helping with digital navigation. So this is Amanda. And so if you have additional questions on Facebook, you can set up an appointment with her and myself, and we can try to help you with a specific detail that you're assigned.
Is she under?
How did you? Yes.
No. Well, and my friend doesn't work for Facebook anymore, so that was a dead too. I'm sorry.
I've been trying to help them. So yes, we don't have our Google grant anymore, but as you can see, we're wearing art shirts because we do have a grant from them that is providing some digital navigation resources. So yes, we are here trying to continue the work that Mark started. Yeah. We are, I'd say we're pretty good, but we're not at Mark's 85%. Because
That's the
Yeah,
solid.
he's the only one who's stumped us so far.
Yes.
Right.
Well, but I will say though, if, because I use my phone to log into Facebook. And they locked me out because some person had tried to hack me
Right.
twice, at least twice. And, they won't let me back on unless I log in to Facebook using a different device.
A device that
So I
you used before,
encourage you,
yeah.
if you have a laptop or a desktop, log into Facebook, on that. So you can, that happens to you, you can go back to that device.
Good point.
And log into Facebook and prove that you are the person.
Yeah, they wanted
That
to,
has that effect. Because,
they want a device that she has logged into before.
yeah.
Presuming probably an older phone, we're
Which
assuming.
nobody.
But she doesn't have that older phone anymore, so they're not allowing her in. So yeah, that's a really good tip, Betty, to go in and log on to 2 devices that you're planning to hold on to.
So it could be a tablet, your iPad, or a desktop computer.
I never knew that happened, that
Right.
was a requirement.
I did not know that either.
And
You'll
most
see it.
people don't keep their old devices,
No.
they, they make them, secure,
Right.
and then they recycle them, or you trade your phone in.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for coming. She's manning the door while we're. So we're gonna go through downloading the app, just real quick. Signing up for Facebook. Do you all have Facebook already? Everybody has. Okay, so you've been watching. Setting up your profile, filling out your profile, sending and accepting friend requests, posting a status update, comment, liking and replying, adjusting privacy, and then just some additional safety tips. Think about when you're interacting on Facebook, and those probably apply to most social media sites. Is Facebook predominantly the site that you use for social media? Does anybody use Instagram or LinkedIn or anything like that? Okay. Alrighty. All right, so, I don't know why this thing is not moving along. Very annoying. There we go. So, Jay.
Yes.
Just for you. Obviously, you can find a Facebook app. It's on the App Store. Your iPhone user now, right? Yeah. So you just go in, you'll get look up the Facebook app.
You're talking about the Apple,
Yes.
you could also do it on the Samsung one. What's that?
It's a Google Store, I believe. Yeah, yeah,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Okay. Can you put Facebook on a Chromebook?
Chrome is Google.
It's not a Samsung.
I would think because you can put it on like a Galaxy tablet.
Good.
So try it out.
I will. And if I do put it on there, but I want to use it on my iPhone, I want to download it on that. Do I download another copy on
Yes,
the iPhone? And
yes,
the ID and password that I set up would work on that?
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you wanted to have it on multiple devices, you can set it up on one. Write down your information or how you keep your password and your ID, and then you can log in. And what will happen is, any activity you say that you're on your phone, you would see on your other device. Yeah, so like I have Facebook on my phone and on my iPad, so I can see, I can interact with either one. It's pretty much seamless, okay? So you'll download your app and go through that. Now, I'm not gonna go into this a lot, but I did want to mention, so there is another app that kind of goes along with Facebook, and it is Messenger. And Messenger has this little squiggly in the blue box. And this is where you can talk to people privately in Messenger. For the most part, when you say something on Facebook, it is visible to the people that you have set up to see your posts. So if you wanna have a private conversation, you can go into Messenger and talk to somebody one-on-one, okay? So if you have questions about Messenger, we can go into it afterward if we have time, but I did wanna mention that it is a complimentary app that goes along with Facebook. If you download one, I think you still have to download the other.
And you set up a group on this.
In here, I feel like you can, I feel like so, yeah. Okay?
Can.
Yeah.
You can see each other, that would be nice.
You can see when somebody is online in Facebook. There's a little green dot that will show up. You'll see all your friends there. And then you'll see a little dot, and you'll know, it'll indicate that they're online right then, so if you wanna like ping them a little note. I don't have a lot of conversations in there, I find it easier just to text if I have their phone number. But if it's somebody that I don't have their phone number, it is a good way to reach out. When I had my class reunion, they communicated using Messenger a lot, like the people that were getting, you know, the ticket sales and all that, they were chatting with everybody. Messenger. Okay, all right. I'm going to. Good.
To download the app, search Facebook. Then tap this button to begin downloading the app. When the download is complete, you can open the app from here, or locate and tap the Facebook icon.
So that's just a quick thing on how to download the app. I'm sorry, I'm having a devil of a time with these slides. Fancy.
But you already do that. Oh. Mine is just not on the. Facebook for a while.
To download the app,
I am so sorry, I do not know what is going on here.
Yeah.
search Facebook.
All right.
Then tap
There we go. Okay. Think I got it. Now, if you're all using Facebook already, then, and this is a test. So like when I'm sharing, I don't know how to really get rid of this. So as you can see, it gets in the text, so I need to remember to move everything down. But, once you download it, if you're already using it, but Jay, again, for you. You're just gonna sign into, tap Facebook to open it, the app itself. And then you will sign up for Facebook, you have to put your email in. Creating a strong password is really important here, and then writing it down to make sure, okay? Once you set up, sign into Facebook, that's where you can go in and put your profile picture, select a photo, and then start putting friends and all that kind of thing. Okay?
Renee, just a quick question on that.
Mhm.
You put in, let's say you put in your email address or your phone number. What does that exactly mean? Was anybody be able to, how do they contact you if people won't see your email address or your phone?
No, no. And I always recommend just using your email address. Email, yeah, I've never used a phone
Yeah, I
number.
don't think I know.
I would recommend using the email address. But we'll look into some of the privacy settings. Yeah. But you always have that, password there, and that's really the key of, getting into your account. Okay? And we've talked about the passwords quite a bit of how to create a secure one and that, and making sure that you know what it is written down.
So when you do your profile, is it better? I mean, after what's happened,
Yeah.
to me, I wonder if it's better to just not put there much. I mean, I didn't load it up. Yeah, I mean, I could retire J.C. Penney,
Right.
you know, kind of generic stuff. But
It's all really about what you want to have. I'm mine would probably be very similar to yours. I think the key is about the interactions. No. So you were hacked, so explain to me again exactly what happened.
Well, there was, some guys, they weren't afraid,
Right,
and they tagged on to a conversation
got it.
that I had with.
With
Facebook
friend,
friend,
And
and
in Messenger or in
on Facebook,
Space?
and they said, I've been trying to get, I've been sending you friend requests, and you sound like such a compassionate person.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I've gotten that.
And so, I mean, I've seen those before.
Yes, yeah.
And usually I just ignored them. Well, this time I said, heck, yes. So I blocked it, I reported it, and I hid it. And not very long after that is when
Right.
this stuff started happening.
Right. So probably better just to ignore.
Yeah, because,
Right.
I mean, they're just like,
They're looking for an interaction.
they're jerks.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they trying to get some information? or-
It's very possible, it's very possible. And it's difficult because even we were trying to help Betty figure out how to resolve her issue. Facebook is not what I would say user friendly on the customer service side at all. It's very
They
difficult.
don't want to talk.
No, they don't. So in that case, and it's like I tell my husband every day, just ignore it, just move on and eventually it'll just, end up, they'll move on to somebody else that does not engage. When you do, now when you're having a conversation, like if you see something in your news feed that you don't want to see, you can basically hide it for 30 days or go into your settings and change or remove those kind of things. But you can really go down a rabbit hole sometimes when you're trying to clean up your Facebook settings. And I can't even get into it here today because it is really can be complicated. So if you have a concern, it's probably better that we have a one-on-one conversation. It's like if you ever go into the apps on your phone and you start looking at all the details under each app, it's sort of that same kind of rabbit hole of you allow the notifications, do you, all those things. So if you have concern about it, it's probably just easier to look at it one-on-one. Okay. All right. All right. So this is creating
To
account.
create a Facebook account, first tap the icon to open the app. Tap Sign up for Facebook. Then tap Get started to begin. Enter an email address or phone number. Enter your name. Then create a password. Next, you'll need to enter some basic information about yourself. And once you're finished, you'll have a chance to set your profile picture. You can take a new picture, or you can choose from one on your camera roll. Finally, you'll have a chance to search for people you already know on Facebook so you can quickly begin adding friends. But if you decide to skip this step for now, you'll still be able to search and add friends at a later time.
All right. So you see where it asks for your birthday. Well, this is an attempt of Facebook to probably filter some content if you are under a certain name. I'm not really sure what the name is. But that is why they are asking your age. I'm not really sure why they ask your gender, but they do. There's probably a selection if you want to put it. Now, I will say I like it when people put their birthday. Yes, I never put birthday's birthday. And there is a great feature in Facebook where you can look at the birthdays that are coming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's birthday's coming. So it's like with any electronic device. There are positives and there are negatives about putting this information, right? But I will say, I have my birthday there. I don't think it shows your to the public, but that is their attempt to try to you know, I don't know how old you're supposed to be to have your own Facebook, I'm 13. So I have my birth date in there and I have not had an issue, but here again, it is totally up to you, okay? All right. Now, it talked about setting your profile picture, right? Once you have your account created. And so I tried to just take some screenshots off of my phone to kind of show you how easy it is to change some of these settings. And now, I also manage the library's Facebook, so I'm using that kind of to show you as well. But changing your picture, and I'm just gonna show you on my phone, is very easy. It's basically, you're gonna see where this little camera is here. You can just touch the photo. And it's gonna say, you wanna create an AI image. And try with it. You can select a profile picture. And add a frame, so like if you wanna put something around your photo. So when you select a profile picture, it's going to go into your camera roll and you can pick any picture there that you want. Okay, so it's real easy to change your photo. I haven't changed my profile picture for quite a long time, but some people change them all the time. But it's up to you, you know, if you went somewhere cool, if you want to show it, but you're basically just gonna touch that. You can also take a picture, like by touching the little camera. Okay,
So where's the camera on the person?
on your personal page, it's in the same place, you can see the little camera there, yeah, okay. And if you wanna take a photo, you're gonna touch the camera itself, and then. Okay, so it's this little camera right here, you just touch that, okay?
You take care of the hospital, library, you take care of your own.
Right,
You have both Facebook accounts.
yes.
So you can have more than one.
You can, yes. If you want to have a business, you have to do it through a personal account.
It's attached to.
Yes, yes. So if you wanted to do your business, you can do that. And it's literally just like, you'll see here, there's a little arrow and you say, this is the one I want. Yep. Okay,
And then if you're on LinkedIn, does Facebook go out and get your contacts?
no, I can use some for one. I'm not sure what this does. But it will look at your contacts as you on your phone.
Right.
So just be cautious of that. Like, when I left JCPenney, I left all my contacts and I don't want it to grab those people, you know, this is, you know. But anyway, so be careful about that, but yes, if you did want to set up a business one, it has to be attached through. Okay. But it does help because you don't have to log in and out.
Right.
You can see it, but you gotta make sure, like, are you the only one? You know, when you.
Does one account know about the other ones, the public?
I don't
Would
really,
you know that if you would?
I don't believe so. Mhm. Now, there are cases where it would know, like if you try to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, which I'm not gonna really go into today because that's like a whole nother class of marketplace. When you share the item for sale, you can say, show my contacts or not. Okay? So like if you're having you're selling a lot of stuff, but maybe you want to show your friends, but like a lot of my friends don't live around me anymore, so I don't really show them because they can't come get it. So I don't include them. But you could, if you were having a garage sale and you wanted your friends to be part of it, you can say, there's a spot where you could say, show my contacts. So it just depends on, you know, where your contacts live, that kind of thing.
So you can set up more than one account, but one has to be business,
No,
the other has to be personal.
No, if you're setting up a business one, it has to be tied to a personal person. I don't know if you can set up two Facebook accounts for a person. Now, you might be able to, if you used a different email, try it.
Cause I can't get in.
Right,
so
so
I
you probably
can't
need
get
us, you probably need it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So changing your photo is really easy, and that's on your profile picture, okay? All right. Now, these instructions, I'm really not going to go through, but they're in your packet. It's very similar, these are all the desktop instructions. Okay, so everything that looks like this in your packet is desk, if you're on your computer, okay? Obviously, you have to give it permission to go look at your pictures on your computer, just like on your phone, that kind of thing. Okay? All right. I have to get myself a little table here so I can, okay. Now, this goes into setting up your profile, okay? And, there are many ways to get to your profile. On my Facebook page, it basically says edit profile, right? What does it show on your Barbara, since you got it? This is, oh. This, well, I won't switch up, but anyway, it'll say edit profile, okay? And this is where, like, Ben was talking about. On here is where you can edit public details. It clearly says that right there, edit public details, okay? Now, part of my details that are showing, you can say where you work, your education, where you live, where you're from. If you have your own website, put that, other social media links. There is a very long list of things that you can add in here, okay? I just have kind of the basics on mine, but this is where it's really up to you what you want to show when you're doing that. Okay,
And so only your friends see that,
supposedly, yes, yes. Yeah, if somebody wanted to see your information, they would have to send a friend request to you, I believe. Okay. So you can go in and edit your details. Here again is another place where you can change your profile picture. You can see my lovely one here on the strip in Las Vegas when my friend was living there. We were sightseeing, she lived there, and it was weird because staying off the strip was very strange, like, I feel like you're in a regular town. So then we went, took our picture. You can select an avatar. I don't really do that, but a lot of people do, but sometimes when you go in and say happy birthday to somebody, you can have a little image that sort of looks like you and it'll say happy birthday, that kind of thing, right? There's also another photo feature, it's called your cover photo. This is the page that shows on your home page, which is a little weird. So you can add a different photo there, and it's basically just hit edit. And a lot of these photos, it'll say if you want it to be permanent or just temporary. Like I see people, they'll go on a trip and they'll set a temporary profile picture, just show someone where they were on vacation or something like that, okay? So here again, I would say, don't go crazy on what you're putting on your profile. But if you have friends, it's nice they know when your birthday is. Like I said, I use that all the time myself. So it's up to what you're comfortable with showing. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. Alrighty. So here again, this is how to set it up on the desktop. It'll look very similar, right? You click the about and you go through work and education places. It looks very similar on your phone. It's just organized a little bit differently, but all those things that you want there. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, once you are signed up for Facebook, there are two ways that you can look at Facebook. One is off of your home page, which is basically when You tap on your picture that's in the circle. This is your homepage, which basically shows your activity on Facebook, okay? When you click the home button, when you click the home button, this is where you're gonna see activity of everybody that you know. And people you don't. You may be searching on the web for something to purchase, and guess what? All of a sudden, it's in your Facebook. You know, it is a way of life, that's what happens, I don't know how it knows, but there's algorithms, it can see when you are looking at something, or, I mean, I didn't even say it, but my husband and I were talking about something. All of a sudden it shows up. But we have Alexa in our house, and we know we have it, we don't have, Alexa did not, but I'm just saying, things show up. Like, you'll see if you were looking at mine, I was looking at dresses to wear at my son's wedding, and so I see all these pictures, like, if I look at a website on my phone, it is what it is, you know? But tapping your picture takes you to your page. You can see everything that you've posted. Tapping the home button takes you to the news feed to all the other people. You may see some of your posts in there as well. Like a lot of times I'll see the library posts. But let me tell you, there is no guarantee when you post something that every friend that you know is going to see it. Facebook has algorithms, and I mean, I don't know what they are, but I will just say from the library's perspective, when I post things, I've had people say like, I never saw that. So I don't really know. That's why you'll see sometimes I post a lot, so people do see it eventually, but there is no guarantee. Okay. All right. So, the news feed is when you hit the home button, okay? Now, down here, there's also adjustments that you can make to, and actions that you can take within Facebook. You can search for friends up here using the search button, or you can search for friends down here, either way, okay? Now, this is where Facebook Marketplace is, this little house looking thing. If you're on a business Facebook page, there is no mark. It's very interesting. There are groups that you can join. For example, I follow the Grayson County Master Gardeners, some Foxborough Independent School District. A lot of these, you request to be a friend, just like you do a person. They usually have somebody that is managing their, I'll call it a site, but their page. And they will review the requests and you'll either get a yes or no. Okay, so like if you're joining Pottsboro chat, for example, which is very popular around here. There are certain, what I'll say, requirements, like you to live in Pottsboro or work here. You know, obviously, they don't check them, but at least they're trying to ask certain questions. So some sites will ask you to answer a few questions, some do not, it just depends, okay? But being in a group, sometimes it's good, you can get some good information, or maybe it's a group that you are in that you, want to share information with people. So it is kind of handy. Notifications. So notifications, sort of just like on your phone, when somebody posts something, there's a notification. So you can click that and go see, oh, who posted something today, okay? And then here again, it goes back to your page, okay? So on here, so for example, when I click friends, this is posts of my friends. But I can also go up here and I can find my friends, I can look at the birthdays and see an entire list of all of my friends that I have there, okay? Here is a place where you could message somebody if you wanted You don't have their phone number if you wanna chat, then you just click the little messenger thing, okay? So here is the birthdays that I use all the time. And it basically shows me all of my friends, like whose birthdays are coming. You can send them a little note right here, so it's really handy. So I look at this every day, just so much easier than trying to do a calendar, you know? All right. Questions at all? So on the notification piece, I clicked it, I had two. And you can see they're like highlighted in blue, so this indicates I haven't looked at them. But I can look and say, okay, Easy Life Realty. They posted something about a new house. You can get a lot of information generated in here as well. So just remember not to be overwhelmed with it. Because you could spend literally hours on Facebook a day. So I just, just with caution, I would say, but you find out a lot of great stuff. I find recipes on here, like all kinds of good stuff, but it's just all about, not going crazy with it. Okay. All right, groups, talked about groups. So it shows what groups I've signed up for. Okay, so I've Buy Nothing, Prospero Chat. But then there'll be posts from some of these other pages that I follow. So a group is something you have to join. You can follow anybody, and you'll see there's a little button. Let me see if I can find one here.
And they don't know you're following them.
If they looked, there's probably a way to know they're following, like if somebody follows the library, I believe I get a notification about that. And there's probably a way to get a list of it. But unless you have a setting, I think somebody could follow like a business kind of thing, okay? So the Master Gardeners, that's one where people probably follow you. Yeah, if somebody wanted to join your group, that might be different. Where you would only allow your current members or things like that, I mean, in your group, right? You would control that. In general, if you have a business, the more followers, the more exposure that you can get on Facebook. Believe it or not, YouTube is the #1 social media site across the world, not Facebook, not Instagram. YouTube is.
You can find anything you want.
Right.
And we would rather watch YouTube than these lousy movies, so.
Yeah. So it is very interesting, and like at the library. I'm not down YouTube half, but I really should probably. A lot of libraries have people that create content. Because YouTube is primarily video. So I'm not really into doing that a lot, but we really should, but so. Like Nancy said, YouTube, you can find anything. So while Facebook seems really out there, it is not the #1. Kind of interesting. Okay. All right, so to return to the news, you tap the icon back of your little home screen. Now also this plus up here, when we get into talk about posting, there's different ways to post in Facebook. Okay. You can post a story, which I'm not even really sure what that does, but I use a reel a lot, which a reel takes a bunch of pictures that you took, and kind of creates a little video out of it. If you're trying to get people to see your page, a reel gets more priority from Facebook than a regular photo does. Don't know why, but
Do you get to choose
you can choose how you post, yes. Okay, you can go live, like right now, today, I could click live and I would be live on Facebook. And people that follow me, the library, they would be able to see. So like sometimes when we're at the chamber, Missy will come out and she'll go live. And you're live. I prefer to record and then post, but sometimes spur of the moment is a great thing too, you know? I've never used the AI component. Obviously, there's just posting a regular post. We'll go over that a little bit. So there's a lot of different things that you can do when you're trying to share content.
And when you go live, that's not recorded, it's just like,
It's like live, right? Exactly right.
you can't go back.
No, sir. No, you cannot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, remember that. So we'll watch a little video here. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, here we go.
Within the Facebook app, you'll find everything you need for sharing what you're doing, thinking, or feeling here. You can update your status, share a photo, or check in at a location. Tap Search at the top of the screen to search for people, groups, or organizations. These buttons allow you to access friend requests, messages, notifications, and more. Go back to your newsfeed by tapping the button here.
So those are all the things that we just talked about. Okay. All right. All right, sending a friend request. So like I said, there are a lot of ways that you can search for friends on here. So when y'all go home, you can search for me and you can become my friend if you want to try it out. Want that? I'd be happy to be your friend. But like I said, there's a lot of different ways. You can just search using the little microscope thing and just type in somebody's name. So maybe somebody you were thinking about, you went to high school with, so I just put my husband in there and there he is, right? And if I wanted to be friends with him, I would just touch friends. Now I'm already friends with him. Good thing, right? Some days. But, you know, sometimes you don't want to be friends with somebody, and not because you're not friends, but you don't see their postings. So you can unfriend, and I do believe that people cannot see when you unfriend, okay? But it would take their content out. You know, sometimes you don't want to, or whatever, right? You can unfollow as well, same thing there. And you can edit your friends list there, okay? So many ways. You can also, like I said, clicking the little friends down here on the button, you can find friends, see your friends. So here again, I could put, I can go straight back to my husband's page just through going through the little people icon down here as well. Okay. Now, when you get a friend request, you're gonna probably see it in your notifications. Okay, that's where you would see it. And you can say.
So if you decline there, would that get in the same situation as part of trying to just block somebody? Because I've always declined.
I don't think so, because here you don't have the option to report as well.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't in my notifications, it was on the stream of.
Yeah,
So I, yeah, people that.
right. It just kind of
Yeah.
goes out in the long, because I always keep it running. Yeah. Okay.
She's done it to me, sir.
Another interesting thing you'll see sometimes, depending on how you're looking at Facebook, you will see, let me see if I can get it to show up here. So I'm on the, you know, this is my page when I'm on my home screen. You will see people, you'll see activity of people you're friends with or groups that you follow. So my son is in the rugby at UNT, so it's kind of a quick way to see recent content, and you can just go across here. Similarly, sometimes you'll see friend suggestions, right? So it's people that are connected to another person you're connected to, and Facebook thinks, you two know this person, so maybe you want to be friends as well. All right, it's sort of, if you ever use LinkedIn, it's very similar to that. That it'll show you people that it thinks you might want to be friends with. Just ignore it if you want, but sometimes, oh, that's kind of interesting, somebody you haven't seen for a while. Okay, so people will see you, you'll see them. You want to be friends, you just send it or not, okay? All right, so if you want to friend me, you can give it a try. Clearly, my practice run did not work very. Okay.
Once you've created your Facebook profile, you're ready to start adding friends. You can tap the Friends button to see a list of people you may know. If you see someone you know, you can send them a friend request by tapping Add. Tap this button to see more options. From here, you can see friend suggestions, search for friends, connect with friends through your contacts, and view your current friends. This is also where you'll be able to respond to friend requests. To accept a friend request, simply tap Confirm. You can also search for friends by tapping Search, then typing in a friend's name.
Now you saw where it talked about the contacts. I would just be real careful about using that because if you have a lot of contacts on your device, you might end up with way more friends than you wanted. So I would not suggest doing it that way. Okay. All right. Questions at all?
Yeah,
Are
what
you-
if you want to serve, I mean, what if you want to spy on somebody? But you don't want them to know.
Well, you can look. You can type somebody's name, right? And depending on how they have their page set up, you can sometimes see their profile information. You can look at their photos sometimes. So it just depends on what they have set up.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. All right. So same thing like I was saying here, if you want to send a friend request, use the search bar, you can use the find a friends, and doing it down here as well, okay? This is finding, sending friend request using your desktop device. So same concept, you're just hitting confirm, deny, you're searching through a bar. I just thought I would show you that. Okay. Now status. This is something that I don't ever really use it. A lot of people will post their stats. Like, here's where I'm at today, here's what I did today. I don't really use Facebook that way myself. I usually just share like, I went on a trip or took my grandkids somewhere, so we can all see it. But you can put, you can have a happy face, a sad face, there's all different kinds of statuses that you can use. And if you go to your news feed, up here, you're gonna see where it says what's on your mind, right? And you can add a photo. You can click on what's on your mind. And you're gonna get this screen that looks like this, and I'm sorry, I should have screen captured it, right? But here is where you can say your feeling. Okay? A lot of young people do it. And there's a lot of feelings you could add that you are doing. It's, but you can do it. If you're checking in, a lot of people will do this when they're like, at a cool place they're making dinner or something like that. Basically, click check in, and then Facebook can kind of see where you are, like it says right now, I'm at the hospital library, which that's where I'm at, right? But it also shows other places that I've been. Now you wanna be a little cautious about checking in. I mean, a lot of people have different philosophies about when you go somewhere, you don't say where you are until you get home. And that's probably the best recommendation, that I would give, but a lot of times I do the other myself as well, so. It just depends on what your comfort level is. I have friends that when they go on a trip, you don't know about it till they get home, right? And my husband and I, we kind of share when we're traveling around. But it's totally up to you what you're comfortable with doing. So when you click on there, this is where you can also do a post of, took my grandkids to the Bristol Library, just some cute pictures, that kind of thing.
Kind of let your friends see where you're at, when you say where you're
I
at.
believe so, yes. But that all depends on what you have set up in your settings, okay? All right. So, it's kind of fun to do, it just depends on what you wanna do, okay? It also, see here it says, you can choose if you want it to go public or with your friends, if your friends accept. So there are different ways to do it as well. See that? I don't ever do it, like I said, so I'm not as familiar.
Is there a feature where it disappears after a certain amount of time? Like, doesn't WhatsApp or something, it's
No.
over 24 hours.
As far as I know, Facebook stays. As long as it's there.
Yeah.
Because what will happen is you will see, I've seen quite a few lately. These now and then type of posts. So I'll show you one. So right here's an example of one. So this is a picture that I had taken in 2024 of my grandson when he was getting ready to go to pre-K. And then here was one from the other day. So Facebook will send you this photo with this one blank for you to add in.
I love that.
Yeah, it is pretty fun to do. And right now you're seeing tons of them because all the kids are going back to school. And Facebook sometimes, I really don't know how often, but it'll actually create like a whole story for you of a whole bunch of photos together. I don't really know how it does that, but
But I also does it on my phone.
If you just have go into your photo.
yeah, you can do the same thing with your photos.
It'll pop it up.
Yeah.
Just saying what you were doing yesterday.
Exactly. So it's kind of cool.
That's why I'm, that's a good simple.
And then you have me, I don't use that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of it even borrow like.
So it is kind of fun, to use those features if you like it.
Renee, when
Yeah.
Facebook does send you those before.
Uh-huh.
Everybody can see that, I think, but I've never known that you're supposed to put something in there.
I don't think, if you don't put anything in there, I don't think it goes anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just comes to you.
Mhm.
You would have to add that, and then I believe you have to share it as well. Okay. So when you see for, like on this one I had for my grandson, when I filled it in, you have to hit share, right? So it's sort of like sitting in a work status, so you hit share. Okay. All right, let's keep on going. Are you finding this helpful?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I just wish you had my phone too.
But like I said,
But it all kind of basic.
yeah,
I think the understanding of the basic principle is what you get, and then you can apply it wherever.
yes, Yes. All right. So these are some status updates. So let's see some
Posting a
examples.
status update is how you let your friends know what's on your mind or what you're doing. To post a status, tap the status button. Use the audience selector to control who can see your status update. You can let as many or as few people see your status as you want. You have several options when posting a status. It can just be text, or you can include a picture or a description of what you're doing. If you want people to know where you are, you can include a location. If you want to include one or more of your friends, you can tag them in your status by tapping this button, then making your selection. When you're finished, tap Post. Your status update will appear on your timeline and your newsfeed.
Okay. All righty. So those are just some examples here again. This is examples on doing that on your desktop. All right, we've talked about this a little bit, but there are multiple ways, to add a photo. You can, when you go to what's on your mind, you just add a photo. You can add a photo or a video. You can add multiple photos. So if I added a couple different photos, I'll just use my grandson here. It'll also kind of show you some different layouts that you can organize your pictures with, right? So you click the choose layout button on here, and so you can move the pictures around a little bit. We went to Jellystone in fall a couple of weeks ago, so there's some movies there. Anyway, here again, this is where the little buttons of where you're controlling, who sees what you're doing up here. So it says public, right? So this post, if I was to make it, could go public. But if I only wanted it to go to my friends, I could do that, right? If I wanted to go to friends except, I could specify, or I could have it only go to me. I'm not really sure why you do that, but you can. So right there, under when I'm doing this post, it can also, which I've never done before, you can create an album there. You can also, let me just say, Facebook and Instagram are both owned by Meta. Okay, Instagram tends to be for younger people, but you can tell Facebook post on Instagram if you have an account both. And I've seen that when my friends, sometimes I'll see the same photo on Facebook that they have on Instagram as well. I don't use Instagram that well, so I'm not really person to tell you much about that. It also, and then there's some AI stuff which I've not used in here, so I'm not even talk about it, but you can play around with it. I'm sure it'd be kind of cool. All right, so putting pictures. If you say, oh, I like that, you can save a draft. You can discard your post or keep editing, so you can just get it if you don't like it. Okay, all right. Let's see, if you go on your page, this is kind of one thing I think we were talking about is memories, right? So this has memories of when I went on my Alaskan cruise. So it groups things together by time. And here's probably where you can do some of those then and now, major life events. I've never played around with this, but there is a lot you can do in here. Okay. Here are reels that have been created, right? These are coming out of my news feed. Here's Facebook Marketplace. So here's where your friends are again. So a lot of different things that you can do about that. Okay.
Might you have a class someday on Marketplace?
I could, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. And if you have questions, I can help you with them.
Okay.
Just come in and see, I mean, where I, yeah,
Okay.
basically sold my entire McKinney house. Facebook marketplace. You know, it can be good, but it can be, you know, a pain too, so just keep that in mind, right? Let's see. Okay, so that's how you can do photos. You can play around with all the different ways you show them and all of that stuff. You can even edit photos within Facebook as well. I think some of you came to my photo class, how we were editing using just the app on your, you know, your photo app, but a lot of those similar things you can do with Facebook as well. So kind of cool. All right.
If you don't want a reel, if you don't want to look at the reels, how do you get rid of those?
How to get rid of them, I'm not sure, but it might be in your settings. Yeah. So we'll just watch this little thing on photos.
Posting pictures on Facebook is a fun way to share what's going on in your life. To share a photo, tap the photo button. From here, you can choose a photo from your camera roll. Just tap to select one or more photos. Or you can take a new picture by tapping the button here. Tap here to indicate that you would like to keep and use the photo you just took.
These are some of the editing buttons that are.
You can say something about the photo if you like, include a location, or tag friends. When you're finished, just tap Post to share your photo.
All right, cool. All right, and here's posting a photo using on your desktop. You can see that. All right. Now this is, here's another common thing that occurs on Facebook. When you're on your news feed and, like for example, let's see, let me find one here. You'll see below here, you can like, comment, send a note, or share. So this is a post that I did for the library, right, of our library of things. And when it comes into people's news feed, they can react to my post by clicking like. Now, when you click like, you can hold like down for a minute and you can see there are a lot of different little icons besides just the thumbs up. Yes. So you get a thumbs up, you get a heart, you get a squeezing heart, you get a laugh, you get a oh my gosh, you get sad, and you get a mad.
Oh, they got that.
Yes.
Then you have to hold it down.
Yes. So when you go to like, you just hold it for a second.
Apart.
Yeah, so now I expect to see a lot of hearts. Because
Oh
right
my
now, right?
gosh, yes.
It was kind of fun, you know, just to, you know, it's a easy way to react to something without having to comment and write something, just saying, I don't.
Something sad, you don't.
It just depends, like, what it is, you know, like, maybe it's a funny sad, I don't think I've ever looked sad before. But here again, you can hit comment, and I can comment, say, oh, that's really cool, or happy birthday, love that. It's a fun way just to interact, and people will get a notification that you commented on their post, okay?
Always makes you feel happy if they sent an emoji that they were happy with what you posted. It makes you feel good.
It's sort of like, it's an easy way to share things with your friends.
Yeah.
It helps you stay connected really well. And I always like to just say, you know, if somebody took time to post something out there, I like to like it. But you know, you can go crazy too with it. Now, if you click the send button, that goes into an app called WhatsApp, which is also owned by Meta. So WhatsApp is an app that is used in Europe a lot. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I just know when I went to Europe, I had talked with this lady we were running an apartment from. But it is another app, so I don't ever use it. Some people do use WhatsApp. It's just, it's another communication app. Like my son-in-law, he has a lot of family that lives in Mexico and they use WhatsApp, kind of like Facebook almost. So just, if you want, don't click that, because it'll just take you to WhatsApp, but sharing, like if you see a library post, you can share it with your friends. Anyway, if you see something cool, like you want to share it, if you click share, see what it does here. Then when you click share, you can even add a little tagline to say something. You can say, where do you want it to share it, right? Or you want to just send it to somebody specifically. If you hit share now, it goes out to all the people, all of your friends, or you can click certain people. If you want to show your mom or your kid something, here again, you can say public, friends. Here's another way to control where your content is going. Same feature that I was just showing you is right here. Okay.
Renee, that goes to the other person's Facebook.
Yeah, but they're unique.
Our son, one of our sons uses Instagram, he doesn't use Facebook,
Yeah.
so you have to copy and paste. And he said,
but-
well, it's just for.
Yeah. We're not bad.
Well, yes.
Very.
Yeah.
All right. So it's kind of fun now. You learn how you can put the little hearts there and everything. But it is kind of fun to see what people are doing. Here's another thing on the business side. It doesn't on personal, I don't think so, but from the library, I can click see insights, and it tells me the activity that a post got. So I can see how many people looked at it. I can click on this and see who liked, who hugged me, all that. That is available when you do that. Now, it is interesting.
Does that have a count?
Let's see, I think it does. Just get over the road. So if I go on the library page. So here's a post about this class yesterday. I can see it had 93 views, right?
Wow.
3 people engaged in it. 2 people gave a thumbs up. Thankfully, we didn't have any mad people. It'll show you comments, it'll show you how many people shared it. There, from a group or business aspect, there are a lot of great metrics that Facebook does share or makes accessible to you, so you can see what's going on. You know, are you getting the reaction you're looking for?
Or nobody saw.
Exactly. Yes.
Is the Facebook account for library free? Pay for
No, it's free. Yeah. You can create ads in Facebook for, I would say, it's pretty nominal amount, and it will show you your location. And how broad you want to go out is how much you can expand for payments. Which is kind of cool. I did it once in the library, but I really haven't used it, but it is kind of a neat tool. If you were in a business, you know, and you're trying to get out of your friend group. Using that kind of tool, to I think they call it boosting. Okay. Now, here's something interesting. I'm gonna see if I can show you real quick. If you comment on something and you don't like it, you can usually go and delete it. Okay, like if you
added it too.
yes, yeah. I was gonna see if I could figure out how to do that.
So if you say something ugly, you can erase it.
That's right.
I would never do that.
Well, sometimes, you know, the auto speller, yeah, the auto speller will get you sometimes, and so yeah, you just hold on it, see if I have it in here. I can't remember if I did or not. All right. This is a little video on commenting, so you can see
From
that.
time to time, you may see a post that inspires you to share a comment. To comment on a post, simply tap the comment button beneath the post. Then just type your comment. When you're finished, tap Post, and your comment will be included.
All right. And here again, this is on the desktop if you want to do it on your phone. Okay. Now the privacy settings, all right? I know this probably a lot of you are very interested. So when you're on your page, you get over there, so I have to just do this. And it's just like anything else, it's good to go in and see what you have set up every once in a while. When I'm on my page, right, on my newsfeed, there's 3 little dots over here on the right-hand side. And you click that little dots, and now it says profile settings. Okay. And there's like 15 of them on here. Okay. One that you probably want to look at, which I think I showed, here's all of them. Privacy Center. Okay. So when you click Privacy Center, this is where you can go through and look to see what you're setting up. And it's basically, you're clicking review settings. And I believe I have that in here. Okay. And you can click through each one of these things. There are lots of them. So just like on your computer, you know, or your phone, your settings, there are a lot of different ones. But, you know, one day when you're just sitting at home, go through and look and see how you have Facebook set up. I didn't go into each one of these because there's a lot into it, but if you're concerned about it, you come in and meet with me or Amanda, and we'll go through and look at them. But this is basically where you can adjust your settings. Okay. There's following settings, right? Who can see your followers on your timeline? There's so many. Who can see the people pages or list you follow? You can basically adjust every little aspect of it. It just takes a little time to get in there and do it. I'm sure when you set up your account, there is a standard setting that is set unless you go in and change something. Okay. So go through your profile settings and go into privacy setting. And you can tweak it probably 100 different ways. Okay. And this is what it looks like when you're on your desktop. But there are a lot of, you know, who can see your posts, review all the posts you're tagged in. So like if you're with a group, we can tag, you know, I could tag Joanne that she was in this class, and you would be able to see that in here. All right. Now, here are just some things that I have learned over time. Maybe you have some insight as well that you've learned. But like I said, go through and look through so at least some of those key privacy settings. Now, if everything is going fine, it's probably fine, you know, but probably not a bad idea. Don't accept friend requests from people that you don't know, right? Because sometimes you can sort of feel like pressured, like, why did they friend me? You know? But if you don't know them, don't accept it. Okay?
So Renee, I always call the person that asked to be my friend to see if they really send it. Because in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten 5 friend requests that were from people I know and they didn't send them. So that's going on pretty strong right now. I always double check before I accept.
Maybe text them, call them. I've got friend requests from people that I know I'm already friends with on Facebook. So I'll go and think, oh, I just saw something and I just, you know. And it's similar where if their account got hacked, then who knows what somebody's doing.
What if you accidentally?
You could, if you friend them, you could go back in. And unfriend them. Okay. If you look in there, I think you'll find that good for, okay, you would just go into your friends and you'll see there, you click on their name. And you can say unfriend. Okay. Be careful what you share, so this is talking about posting your sensitive information. It's all about your comfort level of what you want to share, you know, with your. I saw a really good post the other day, like if you're posting your kids or grandkids are going back to school. Don't, you know, you used to see it, they would show the little board with their name and what school they went to, like, don't do that, you know. If their backpack has a name on it, which I don't think they really want you to do that either, but just think about little things like that. That you're not showing, because you know, people will try to use that information, you know. Another big thing that you'll see now is you'll see where somebody will make a post. And they say, link, review the link in the comments. I don't ever click those. Because you just don't know where they're going. And I see it a lot. About the Royals. I just noticed. So be very cautious about those kind of things. In the library, like yesterday, I think I shared an art class that's coming up. And I have to tell you, like, click this link, but you know, I still think sometimes people don't want to click it and I understand that. But that's how I have to share the link. But at least you know it's coming from the library, but when it's coming from, you know, who knows who, just don't click it. The other thing that you'll see, like when I've been searching for all these mother and of the groom dresses, the links, there are links to these websites to purchase the dress. Don't do that. Get out and go to the website and make your purchase there. Okay, yeah. A lot of bloggers, influencers, and I'm not saying that they're not okay, but the potential for risk is definitely there. You're better to get out and go find their website on Google and make your purchase there. Create an account and make your purchase. Don't do it through Facebook. Okay. Probably fine, but just. So these are some key tips that I have just learned and follow myself.